Well, you're going to be busy, and so am I. We've got a long list of essays to do starting the week after next, but that's okay. I'm good at word processing. What concerns me is taking notes at the seminars and lectures. I hope that I can keep up. Only I'm not that quick at getting things down, and when I try to write fast, I can't understand my own writing. Can we use an iPad or something?
Well, I don't think they're that clear when you're recording in a big area. Some students take photos of other people's notes afterwards, but I think it's better to have one of those mini tape recorders, the ones like the journalists have. I've heard they're really good.
Yeah, that sounds like exactly what I need. But where can I get a hold of one of these recorders?
The university shop sells them. They're not too expensive either. How much were they? I think it was something like £20 or £25. Anyway, it wasn't too much.
Great. I haven't been to the shop yet, so I can take a look around and buy whatever I need.
Well, you know that you have to supply your own stationery as well as textbooks. They've got a big selection if you need anything.
I don't think so. I've got all that I need. Pens, pencils, notebooks. No difference from college, really. So what's your first lecture on?
Just a minute. It says somewhere on my handbook. Here it is. The influence of globalization on world trade. And that's first thing on Monday morning at 9 o'clock.
Sounds like the perfect way to start your week. Rather you than me.
I'm sure it'll be okay. What about you?
Well, I'm luckier than you. Most of my lectures start after 10 o'clock, and I don't start mine until mid-morning on Tuesday. And it says here that it's on the history of archaeology, and it's from 10:30 to 12.
Well, good luck with that one. I think I prefer mine.
Anyway, I'm off to the shop now. Don't want to be late for lunch.
Okay, see you there then. The tutorial went pretty well, I thought. How did yours go?
Yeah, fine. He seemed to be pleased with what I found out. So what have you been researching for your essay?
Oh, mainly Maslow's theory and all that.
Oh, I haven't had a proper look at that yet. But from what I saw, I found his theories a bit old-fashioned. Mine is more focused around the two-factor theory.
That's by the American psychologist Hertzberg, right?
Uh-huh. I've been reading up on it over the last few weeks, and it's really interesting. I've made pages of notes and come up with loads of ideas. How come you haven't had a look? It's one of the compulsory topics we need to cover.
I know, but I've been so tied up with reading other stuff, and I just haven't got round to it yet. So, what's it about anyway? So, would you recommend it as a top read?
I wouldn't go that far, but I can tell you that it's worth reading for this essay. It sets out a lot of ideas really clearly, and it's really helped me to generate ideas and organize my first draft. Briefly, Herzberg created two categories. The first one is hygiene factors, and the second is motivating factors.
So, how is hygiene associated with motivation?
Well, actually, it's not really to do with keeping physically healthy, more like keeping psychologically healthy. Some of the examples he gives are pay, which obviously is one of the main reasons we work, the number of hours we spend in our workplace. He suggests that we can be demotivated by working long hours with poor reward, and the effect that working conditions have on the employee. He also mentions about differences in leadership styles and the relationship between colleagues in the working environment.
So far, that sounds pretty similar to Maslow's theory. What's the difference?
Well, there are a number of differences, but the main one is that he did not consider Maslow's more basic needs at the bottom of the pyramid to be relevant to modern life. The standard of living has risen a lot since the early 20th century.
Oh, I see. You mentioned motivating factors.
Yes, these are also important and include the need to experience things like a sense of achievement, challenge, and responsibility, and opportunities to gain promotion. Basically, he's saying that it is essential that we should have some control over our working environment, and that generally speaking, people who work in a team are more likely to succeed than those who don't.
Thanks, Susie. That's given me quite a lot to think about. I'll take a look at it over the weekend.